What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Hey, I think it was Lyle McDonald who said that if you take a young person, you start them powerlifting, doing the big three or even the big five, if you add in rows and overhead press, and then you take someone who just starts doing bodybuilding movement, the powerlifter will get much better results. And I tend to agree with him because I've seen it happen firsthand. Kid I talk about all this time on this channel, his name's Peter. He's a full grown-ass man now. 16 years old, was doing bodybuilding. We trained together, whatever. He's like, hey man, I'm gonna stop going to this gym. I'm going to a gym that does powerlifting. It's a powerlifting gym. I saw him like a year later. Dude put on so much size and it was insane. I've seen it firsthand and I did it myself. I started with football, basically doing the big lifts for football. And then I was a power lifter and then I went into the whole modeling and then bodybuilding. So like, yes, I modeled at one point. I know. Yeah. Father Time's undefeated, y'all. Unless you're Mike O'Hearn. With that being said, what are the best exercises for building muscle? What are they? And it is actually one of the most asked questions on the internet for fitness. What exercise is best building muscle? And there's some nuance to this. So for beginners, the key is to build the foundational movements, compound exercises, hard, heavy, tangibly able to have progressive overload. What do I mean? Well, you do machines. What are you doing? Oh, I moved down a little pin. No. On squats, if you go from 135 to 225, you'll be bigger. I've seen it firsthand in my own kids. I've seen it firsthand in the thousands of kids I've coached. Bottom line, whether you're a kid or an adult, if you're starting, start with the compound lifts, squats, deadlift, bench press. I'll throw pull-ups in there, overhead press, rows. Just get nasty. Do the compounds. They stimulate the most muscle fibers. They help with transient increases in testosterone and growth hormone. You start with those, get big, get strong. So if I'm going to do an example beginner plan, I'm going to train like 3 times a week. I might even do a full body each day, like squat, bench press, row, overhead press, pull-ups or lat, pull down. And then on day 2, I'll do something a little bit different. Or you could even do something crazy and do a powerlifting split where you simply do like, you do a bench press split, then you do a deadlift and a squat 3 days a week, maybe 4 if you want to add in accessories. If you want more information on that, look up Louis Simmons conjugate training. I still think conjugate's the best, but pretty much starting strength does a good job with this. Dude, start with the basics. Start as a power lifter. So after you get past, let's say those 3 years of training, you've built that base, that foundation. Your squat went from 95 pounds to 495 pounds. What do you do then? Well, you know what? Then you can kind of have some fun. There's a couple ways to look at this, right? My buddy, Mike Israetel, he emphasizes progressing through these mesocycles of increased volume and intensity, focus on the muscle tension and the stretch. Now, there is studies, there is data that I can reference easily. There's data that being in that stretch position where your muscle's more fully exposed leads to more hypertrophy. So then you also have the guys like Paul Carter, right? Paul Carter, he's different. He says train with extreme intensity in the 4 to 8 rep range. You do 1 to 2 sets per exercise, and you train each body part multiple times a week. There's more than one way to skin a cat. By the way, why are we skinning cats? How did that ever become a saying? But anyway, you could do something like a push-pull leg split, but you get funky, right? You go from dumbbell press, right? You got some flies, you got cable flies, throwing the cables. And those are always cool to pull around, but you want to, you vary the rep ranges. This is almost like power building, right? You keep in that heavy compound movement at the beginning, maybe 3 to 6 rep range, maybe even go up to 10, but you keep in the squats, the bench press, you keep in all that stuff, but you add in those accessories. You add in more volume because there is a direct correlation in data with volume training and with muscle growth, a direct linear correlation. So with that, okay, the best exercises for a beginner for building muscle, that is the title of this damn video, squats, deadlift, bench, overhead press, row. That's for beginners. oh, what the science says, the science-based guys, they say to do this, and they tie a cuff around their arm and they take out the leverage. That's stupid. If you see anybody with any appreciable size doing that, give me a call. Give me a call. These young guys, look, as Chris Gethin says, knowledge without mileage is bullshit. I don't give a shit about angles. I don't give a flying fuck about any of that. What I know is that you want to get mechanical tension. Well, you can get more mechanical tension directly on the muscle. And do you ever see that guy? They hold a handle with nothing on it because grip apparently increases recruitment. And then they tie a cuff to their arm and they do a fly or something. Why not just grab the handle, dumbass? Man, I'm so sick of seeing these guys. Anyway, so, when you're intermediate, you kick up the volume, maybe train 4 to 5 days a week instead of 3 to 4, get a little more volume, and you can hit each. So here's the thing about what to do. Now, this is beyond the scope of this video. But one thing you can do is you can really get into the nuances of building the muscle. You can really look at the split and how you do it. So you can do a bro split. Studies have also demonstrated that as long as the sets are equal, whether you trained it, 3 days a week or 1 day a week, you're going to get similar growth, give or take. At the end of the day, whatever you like. If you like training each body part twice a week, if you like doing full body, if you like doing upper lower, honestly, as long as you're hitting the amount of working sets a week equal on each one, it really doesn't matter. So if you like going in and just trashing your chest one day, then trashing your back the next day, that's fine. But if you like to go in and kind of somewhat smash it on Monday, chest, and let's say you come back on Thursday and do chest, like a chest, shoulder, tricep, push, pull, legs type split, that's fine too, right? Advanced lifters, that's where it gets a little funky because you're starting to get older. I'm an advanced lifter. In fact, some might say that I'm a geriatric lifter. So, there's a couple ways to look at this. Paul Carter's an old dude, right? He's in his 50s. So his typical workout, right, would be like incline barbell press, 2 sets of 4 to 6 reps. He'll do a dumbbell fly, 1 set of whatever, same 4 to 8, 4 to 10 rep range. He'll do some heavy lateral raises, tricep dips, done. That's it. Whereas you got a Mike Israetel, have a higher volume, you got a moderate weight, but you have that extreme full range of motion, which I love. I love throwing that in there, man. I get in that Arsenal strength sitting press, come in and you can move the seat up so your arms go all the way back for the stretch, where I usually do 5 plates on each side. I'm at 3 plates and my muscles are fatigued. The one time I trained with Mike, man, we did that with belt squats and RDLs and my legs were toast. I'm talking, you have your heel elevated, you're coming all the way down, holding at the bottom for that stretch, coming up, sometimes throwing in some partials. It's awesome. It's cool. But there's more than one way to do it, is what I'm saying. You got to find what you love. If you like taking a set, and here's another thing. Here's why Paul Carter's method might not work for beginners, even intermediates. So Dorian Yates said, you have to have training experience to train like I train, because you need to feel the weight. You need to be able to know what true failure is. And an advanced trainer will know when they're like, dude, I gave it all I have. I don't even have 1 in the tank. But a beginner trainer won't know what they're capable of. So that's where it becomes a thing. It becomes a thing. So what do I recommend? Well, number one is if you're starting out, right? If you're starting out, powerlift. Doesn't mean you have to compete. I'm saying focus on the big 3, even the big 5. Bench, squat, deadlift, rows, overhead press. Start with that. As you move on, throw in some funky stuff. Throw in some more isolation movement. Go for the extreme stretch like Mike Israetel recommends. Go for that huge pump. I know pump doesn't build muscle. Fuck it, pumps are fun. All right. Another thing is choose a plan you can stick with. If you don't like any of what I just said, don't do it. If you like training, if let's say the muscle growth range is 5 reps, but you like training with 3 reps, do it. If you don't like lifting at all, don't do it. If you like doing CrossFit, do it. At the end of the day, just get in the gym, get something done. You're still going to get better results than if you did nothing. Shit, I don't care if CrossFit, High Rocks, Jazzercise, just get your ass in the gym. P90X, focus on progression. So obviously there's a limit to that, but especially in the beginning, you want to focus on adding reps and or weight over time. So if you're getting 315 for 2 reps, the next workout, your goal is either get 325 for 2 reps or get 315 for 3 reps. Okay, don't neglect recovery. Training every day is possible. I do it sometimes myself, but you have to understand that your volume and your intensity have to be moderated or else you will burn out. Things will get hurt and you'll be walking around like a brain dead zombie all day because your nervous system is fried. I'm not saying you get every training. I'm just saying that, look, you'll be fried. Nothing is, you know what? Diet. Make sure you get enough calories and protein to support your growth. Protein, a gram per pound of body weight. So whatever you choose to do, just make sure you get in there and go hard. I've done videos about this before. People don't train hard enough, man. You get in the gym, you take that set right up to failure, and you recover, okay? And if you're doing multiple sets, just realize after my max set, so today I went on the Arsenal chest press, full stretch, and I got up to 4 plates. I got 5 reps. If I would have tried to do that for another set, I might have got 2 reps because I was toast. I was toast with jelly spread on top. But instead, I knew that was going to happen. I took off a plate and I got 3 plates on each side for like 6 reps and barely. So imagine if I would have had more weight. When I can usually do 3 plates for like 10, 12 reps. So that's that. So what are the best exercises for building muscle? Well, all of them, right? But generally speaking, especially if you're starting out, you're looking at the compound lifts. Squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press, and rows are my power 5. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Coupon code MAHA, M-A-H-A, MAHA, gets you 10% off at tigerfitness.com. Everything. Got the outright bar back in stock. We got Clash back in stock. We got Ambrosia's new creatine Atlas in stock with acetic acid added to it. There are so many awesome things. New products being added every day. We got that new Pro Hormone 3AD, which is selling like hotcakes. I don't even know what that means. Like, do hotcakes, is that really the benchmark of selling stuff like pancakes? Like, it's like when I'm thinking about something I want to, like, let's say you're taking a job in sales and you have 2 job offers and one of them is selling pancakes. I don't know if I take that job. Like, I think that's stupid. Let's just say it's selling really well. Okay, like this video, subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell, and of course, remember, that's not a game.